So first I got the Winterberry Wishes collection, but I'm gonna unpack that last. It's just first on the list. Second are these antique copper bead caps. I'm not gonna be able to open the bags with these nails. These are fake. And then the same bead caps in silver. And these antique copper swirled flowered bead caps. Oops. And the same flower bead caps in antique gold. Wow, I grabbed them first try. Tangerine AB 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads. I'm always, wow, that's... We're gonna have to do so much lighting adjustment in this. I'm always looking for orange and yellow, which you'll see here. They're hard colors to find. And this one, which is like a neon red pink leaning orange. These are orange AB 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads. Actually, I'm just going to show the item number so you can just look it up if you want, rather than trying to say all the names of them. Do you guys see these in light yellow? Oh, yes, okay. Oh my god, the lighting is just terrible. Whatever, okay. There's some bicones in like a neon yellow. And it's sort of highlighter yellow, it means green. And some more yellow bicones. It's a really nice primary yellow. Apparently got a lot in sequence. Which makes sense. And they're the same, you know, style and next to each other in the rainbow, right? Show you these two next to each other. See they're different oranges. Oranges. Oh, okay. See if we can make it so you can see that these are briolets. Yeah, there you go. Those are so pretty. I love rainbow. It's the AB coating that makes the rainbow effect. And then I got them in this deeper, more tropical blue. Oops. These are gonna be for Poseidon, if I have my way. Should I get these? Yep. These are just clear with the vitriol coating. Vitriol is like very similar to AB, but it's a different colorway. Like AB covers the warm colors and vitriol covers the cool colors. More or less. These are in cyan. That's the item number. Which is just... what a stunner. I have some from an estate sale that are close to the same. Hoping they'll work together. These are in garnet. Like they're glass, but the color is garnet. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that in this lighting. Kinda. These were just for fun because I wanted them because, like, look at that edge. Those are stunning. Always adding to my teardrops collection for necklaces, even though I hate wrapping them. This is a very nice pink and you just can't tell in this lighting. Some more little teardrops, like a faceted teardrop. which are easier to wrap. Tell you what. I got these in both blue and pink. And like these are obviously Aphrodite, but these could also work for Aphrodite. Do I use them together? We'll see. I'm gonna leave these out until I get to them in the list. Just kidding, I got to them right now. Okay. Those are very pretty. Some stars in a slightly bigger size than I have already, which is nice. I also got a bunch of crimp beads because I have only gunmetal cylinders. I'm gonna sort these a little bit further into like what type they are. Crimp and spacers, etc. I got a bunch of crimp beads and crimp covers. So I think crimp beads tend to look super ugly. Also got some crimp beads I've never seen before. I saw them in somebody's video recently. And then found them on Bead Box Bargains. Or Bead Box Bargains. It's these that I'm talking about. They're like you push in the lever. So, we'll see. Okay, separated into what kind they are. What am I looking for? There. They're so tiny. Hold on, my storage is low. Okay, I did some more organizing while I was waiting for my files to transfer to my computer from my phone. Basically just got them in all of the colors. Rose gold of the same. Still saying storage is low, so we'll see. We'll see if I get through this at all. I don't think you can see it. Maybe, but these have a stardust texture. Just what attracted me to those ones in particular. And then the same ones in copper. Assume if there's a color missing that they were out of stock or just didn't have them. And then these are the crimps I was talking about where they have the little push pin. And then of course got those in a couple of colors. I think those are two different styles. Yeah, one's round, one's squared off. Because I've never used those before, I wanted one of each to give it a try. And then my moon phase beads. These are gold plated? Yeah, gold plated. Whereas the ones I have right now are raw brass and coated brass. So, whoops. Those will of course be more expensive, but I thought it would be nice to have some gold ones. I just had, and back to gems for a minute, or 2 gems. This might be the only gems I bought, gemstones. They're little pumpkins and quartz. Excited to make stuff for that for next year. Next fall. These are hematite and man-made, yeah, man-made hematite. I got them in several colors, I think a couple colors and sizes. And I blind. Yes, there we go. No, a different size, just different bead. Okay, I want to look into the process of making hematite, man-made hematite. See how much of it is, like, is it hematite in the same way that man-made diamonds are diamonds? Or are we making something else and just calling it hematite? How is it made? Am I blind again? Oval bead silver. The same thing but in silver. There they are. Always nice to get more metallic beads, especially in rose gold. Or copper. Honestly, copper's harder to find than rose gold. Here we go. So these are smaller and faceted. These faceted? Yeah, bigger facets, of course, but same thing, just rounds this time. Ooh! Slightly bigger size. Heavy. Those are so pretty. Oh. My yellows. 8mm is about the biggest I work on. Willingly. Sometimes I end up with 10, 12. At least for jewelry wall hangings, usually bigger. And I just thought this was such a nice purple. Are these Casa? Yeah, these are fiber optic. I didn't realize that. It doesn't say that. They are. Really like this lemon chiffon color. He's also fiber optic. Yep. Nice. Not mad about that. Happy about that. In fact, I like the fiber optic effect. This is GLS 1486. Another very pale yellow. It's like buttercream. Still a pale yellow, but much less pale. See the comparison there. These are lined with yellow. And of course I had to pick up some more ones. So like frosted in gold. So pretty. These ones starting with MA-CZ- and then the number. So these are little triangles. Again in yellow, with an AB coating. Little teardrops. And a fun color. I had someone in mind for these, but I can't remember who. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm doing a series of jewelry inspired by the video game Hades, the first one. So I tend to buy stuff with that in mind. Buy supplies with that in mind. More like frosted teardrops. Got these in a bunch of different colors because they're just so pretty. And good for necklaces. I mean, they're good for earrings and bracelets too, but I have projects in mind for them. And then yellow, just because I have to get yellow. It's the law. If you see yellow, you have to buy it, along with orange. Did I skip this one? I did. Oops. Go back a number in there. Show you these two greens next to each other. So you can see this one's 67, this one's 66. And then I got a bunch of spacers because TierraCast went out of business, but somebody bought them, but the price of spacers like tripled or quadrupled and has not gone down, and I don't know if that's due to that transfer of ownership and it hasn't like gotten totally finalized yet, or if it's just because people didn't want to take down prices when they found out they could have them be higher, or if it's because the price of metal is just that much more expensive right now. Anyway, I got a bunch of daisy spacers, which are one of my favorites. Okay, that is these. These have a little more thickness than a daisy spacer. Anyway, so I got these to see what I think about the quality, and if they could be suitable replacements for the TierraCast ones. Plus, I always need more. These were ones that had like a slight flaw to them. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but they have like a slightly rosy hue, which I thought looked so pretty, and it does look so pretty. Some spacer beads. I just consider these normal beads. I think whenever a bead is metallic, people will call it a spacer, whereas to me it's just a bead in metallic. Now these are supposed to be rose gold, but to me, they're definitely copper. I don't have my ring on to show you rose gold. Here you can see here. This is more true rose gold. And this is much darker and oranger, and that's why I would call it copper. But I'm not upset by that. In fact, I'm quite happy about that. As I said, I always find copper that much harder to find. Especially shiny copper. Antique copper isn't nearly as hard as shiny copper. Just some more daisy Hashis. And then some more beads. See what I mean? Like, these are called spacers, but they're just beads to me. It's a pyramid cube beads. Those are nice. Heavy. I also got them in gold. Some more rounds in silver. It's more of a steel than a silver. I think it's called antique silver. I would call it steel. But it's not made out of steel, so I'll just flip these all over so I can just see their numbers. Okay. Some more rounds in gold. Now these, I guess I would consider sort of a bead spacer hybrid because the beads are going to sit inside of that curve. But I of course got them because they look like little 4-point stars. And you know what they're going to be for. If you know anything about my stuff, it's going to be for Nyx. These are like daisy spacers, but they're like star-shaped. They're called star spacers. dotted star spacers. As you can see, they're kind of like a 5-point star. Thought those were really cute. Never seen those particular ones before. Got some hexes, hexagons. I love getting hexagons. Harder to find. Back to Daisy Heishis. Just a bunch of sizes and finishes. And apparently I did not make it easy on them and just got them in all sorts of random order. These ones are platinum. Do I have silver to show them next to? Yeah. Oh, do I have shiny silver? Yeah. There. You can see the difference between the platinum and the silver. So it's sort of in between antique silver and shiny silver. I'm always curious about why these tiny ones are so much darker of an antique bronze than the bigger ones. I always wonder about that. That's like universal. And some gunmetal rounds. Oops. I have a bunch of gunmetal rounds, but not that particular size. And then the star spacers. Nope, that's not them. What am I looking for? 1867. Uh-oh. Oh, here. There we go. Some different star spacers, bigger and more star-like than antique silver. You know I'll be hanging some of those sideways. And these were another, like, read the description because the colors, like, variated between the pieces, between the beads. I don't really specifically remember. They're little leaves in rose gold. So pretty. And then I missed these in the list, I hope. Yep, totally missed these ones in the list. Somehow these are more crimped beads in rose gold. Okay, let's unpack the Winterberry Wishes collection. They do a subscription box. And I'm not someone who can afford, and both monetarily and space-wise, a subscription box as much as I might like to. So, this one, though, is what convinced me to make my Black Friday order from Bead Box Bargains, because I wanted this one. So pretty. It's all purples and coppers, basically. Just stunning. Show you an overview here. Yeah, come on. I'm obsessed with that. I love purple. I love copper. And those are, wow. Okay, let's take a look through what we've got here. We've got an amethyst teardrop pendant. The convex side is flipped there. It's always nice to have teardrop pendants that will, of course, be for Nyx. Phosphosiderite. Phosphosiderite. Faceted rondelle beads. Hold on. I'll come back. Okay, I've got them organized. I'm gonna go up the list so we go through the findings and then to the beads, because that's more exciting for me. So we're gonna start with the jump ring mix. These are brass and antique copper finish. It's always nice to have more jump rings. And then scrolled tube bail beads. I don't know that I actually have any bail beads right now, so that's nice. These are like a nice size too. I don't think I've ever seen them that small. Floral toggle clasps. These are really pretty. I like those a lot. To decide what I'm gonna do with those. And some cable chain. I used to always have a little bit more chain. scroll bead caps. Let's see if I can, yeah. It's just like two flipped over. You can see it's like a little scroll pattern on them. I love to have a variety of bead caps. I'm excited for that. Branch patterned oval beads. Those are really nice. I like those very much. Dotted filigree floral links. Ooh. Those are connectors. Just why they're called links, right? Those are cute. Poinsettia flower pendants. Got 2 of these. 'Tis the season. Did I do something in the wrong order here? Okay, pinecone charms. Super cute. That'll be good for Eurydice or Eurydice, depending. And then poinsettia pendants. See if I can show you the other poinsettias next to them. So 2 different sizes and styles, really. Okay, and then lamp work leaves in copper rose. So the base is rose, like the glass is rose colored, and then they have a copper sparkle through them. Those are so pretty. Those might be mine. Glass leaf beads in slate rainbow iris. Those are nice. I love leaf beads. It's a nice slate color, slate blue. Glass pearl beads, 8mm in mulberry. These are what really attracted me to this collection. Like, all of it did, but I saw these and went, oh my god. They're so pretty. Crystal rondelle beads in winterberry mix. That's really pretty. It's like, it makes them look like they're gemstones because they're in that mixture of colors, but it's just crystal. Just crystal. Faceted crystal rounds in lavender AB. I really like this grayed out lavender too. These are English cut. I've never personally had English cut that small. This is heated aquamarine cylinders. Heating just, well, not just, but in this case, like, darkens, solidifies the blue color. And then 10mm purple aventurine and a frosted finish. I love how these are sort of between the purple and the copper, both brown and purple at the same time. And then some more aquamarine 6mm in faceted rounds. Purple, 8mm purple lepidolite rounds. I love having a variety of purple. It can be really hard to find just a variety of purples. Like, purple's pretty easy to find, but not a whole bunch of tones. I'm trying to show you the flash in lepidolite. Lepidolite? I've never said that out loud before. I don't know. And then the phos... I'm gonna have to look that one up, hold on. Phosphosiderite. Faceted rondelles, 3x2, they're so tiny, and what a lovely purple as well. Alright, so there's everything I got in my Black Friday order from Bead Box Bargains. I would show you the business card again. Shoot. I'm dropping stuff on the floor, but I have lost it. I will link them in the description. And now I have to figure out how to, oh, never mind, it's right there in front of me. There. Now I have to figure out how to put all of these away. Maybe I'll make that another video. Okay, bye.